All righty. Welcome to the HireMyVA Team and Business Building Podcast, where we help you to reclaim your freedom through hiring and thriving with virtual assistants without breaking your bank. I'm Dave Braun, and I'm here with Larry Broughton, who's my great partner and friend,
Yes.
Cat and dog owner, and sometimes stinky cat owner, what we were just talking about. We're busting up.
Yes. Yeah. I still love them.
Yeah, animals can, they can kind of like stink things up, right?
Can't we all?
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, well, enough about stinky animals.
Yes.
So here's a question that we've gotten. I've heard, that the Filipinos and their culture and stuff, and anybody really, that they can just disappear days at a time, no communication, and I'm left stuck with, all this work to do, and I don't know what to do. So, what do you think?
Well, I'm sorry that we keep saying this, but this is not just for VAs that are overseas. It really comes down to three things, I think. One is the personality of the person that you've hired. The second thing can be cultural, because there are some cultural events or life circumstances that happen where culturally they deal with it differently than we might hear in the U.S. Additionally, part of the cultural thing is the way that they respond differently to their boss versus here in the U.S. And the third thing is communication, right? Have we communicated effectively what our expectations are of what happens when some kind of life drama, emergency, tragedy, holiday comes up, right? So really, I think it comes down to those three things, and we can kind of winnow this down from there.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, and absolutely, it does happen to anybody. And the Filipino culture, one of the great things about it, they've got great family ties. They have extreme loyalty to bosses, owners, and very tremendous amount of respect. And they have a lot of loyalty, right? So those are great strengths, and that's one of the reasons why we recommend going there. But then, of course,
and the language,
and then, of course, on my board here, right? Strengths have weaknesses.
That's true.
And sometimes it has happened before, but it's pretty rare. And the family loyalty will cause them to deal with their family situation almost exclusively.
Yeah, we've had that a couple of times.
Yeah, and it's happened. And that's why, like you said, Larry, we got to establish that proper communication from the get-go, those boundaries that are basically check in and check out every day and just communicate, right? It's no problem, but just communicate with and we have those appropriate expectations with them.
Well, listen, if this is I'm using air quotes, reason or excuse that you're going to use not to hire a VA, your business is just not going to grow. It just isn't. Dave, I can think of times where I've had to take time off unexpectedly. I know there's times when you've had to take time off unexpectedly. If I did not have VAs or people on the team, the business would have come to a standstill.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know. I please don't use this as a reason on why not to hire a VA.
Yeah, 'cause something will happen to you. There's no question, and it's going to be unexpected. I remember, I think it was when I was like 30 or something like that. I got the chicken pox, and I was out of work for 3 weeks, and that was a long time ago because I'm old. But that was a long time ago, and there was really the internet was in its infancy. There was no opportunity to work from home. So I was out. I really couldn't contribute to work. Just a couple of years ago, Cheryl had appendicitis that was an emergency, and she was out of work for almost 2 weeks. It almost burst. So they couldn't really prepare a ton for that. In fact, I was talking with my brother-in-law who used to work for Federal Express, and he told me a story about a guy who was, they invested, what they do there is they invested like 6 weeks of training up front before they even get them into a van to start delivering packages. And of course they have to deliver a lot of packages. They have busy routes and it's kind of stressful. This guy couldn't handle it. And so he ended up taking his keys, putting them in a mailbox and parking his truck. Throwing the keys in the mailbox, calling him and saying, "Here's your truck, take it, I'm quitting." Just like that.
Yeah. So it can happen anywhere, I think is the point. This is not just a cultural, regional country-based challenge or problem. What we can do, though, when we are onboarding new team members, well, first of all, you got to prepare, which means that we have to actually vet the people and communicate with our team members, our potential team members, before they even come on board of what's expected. Should something like this happen, is this part of the conversation? Hey, what happens when? Because sometimes it's a matter of using one of the communication tools, whether it's Slack or texting or an email. Hey, this just happened. And so I'll be communicating with you periodically throughout the emergency or whatever it is. Expect that there's not going to be any perfect person out there. We are all people, and so there's going to be problems that go along the way. You've heard me talk about this before. In business, all problems are people problems. At the end of the day, they're people problems. And so it's how do we respond to it? Do we have checks and balances? Do we have backup plans in case this does indeed happen?
Yeah, and I think it's important, obviously, that you consider, especially if you're a solopreneur, have not done this before, you need to give them some kind of paid personal leave. Got to have a policy.
Great point.
A way to keep track of their vacation and sick time, so they've got some freedom to use some of that stuff. Because you want them to do that. And the other thing that I was thinking is that as business owners and as leaders, we've got to model that same type of behavior that we want to have in our team members. So that means if we're going to be out, if we're going to be sick, we need to, let them know, hey, here's what's going on. I'm going to be out. I've got this going on. I'm out for the day because of A, B, C, and D, or I'm taking vacation, and you guys can prepare for that without me, et cetera.
Yes.
We've got to model that for them. If we don't do that, then how can we expect them to do that?
Yeah, that's right. And by the way, those benefits that you were talking about also separate you or us from all the other people that are out there that are trying to hire VAs, because honestly, most employers, most businesses who are hiring VAs aren't offering this kind of stuff. And so we're going to build more loyalty. You're going to attract a higher quality person, hopefully a better, someone who's got a little more experience. And it'll build, I think I used the word, but loyalty.
Yes.
They're going to want to keep this job.
Yes.
Or this gig, whatever it is they call it.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's going to be times in your business when you're going to have to, all right, guys, we've got to, work some extra time because we got this deadline coming up or this emergency thing happened, right? And so if they've got loyalty to you and you've got these benefits and you've created this great culture, they're going to be like, hey, no problem, boss. I'll do it. No problem at all.
Yeah, particularly, let's keep in mind that now we've got some full-time VAs, right, who are dedicated to us, but there are some VAs who have multiple clients. We would be a client of the VA, right? And so if you're the type of business leader, manager who's constantly just belittling them, grinding them down, not giving them benefits, when crunch time does come, they're going to go probably where, will they help? Maybe, possibly, but they may also go to the person who treats them fairly. They're fun to work with. We've got decent benefits as well. Yeah. So this is a competitive advantage that you'll have. And again, all of this is laid out in the program. The interesting thing is in the community, people ask these types of questions. What kind of benefits should I do? What do you find is most effective for people from this part of the world? And you can just bounce your questions off of other people who are actually in the process like you are, or who are further down the road. And by the way, there are people in the community who are actually VAs. The VAs who help build this program are in the community and responding to questions. So it's a great tool to be using.
Yeah. I don't know of any other program like it. I don't know.
No, not in our competitive set analysis. We've not seen it.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, anything else, Larry, on this topic?
No, I think this is good. I think we've covered it.
Okay, so I hope you guys got some great value out of this, and thanks for listening, of course, as always. Remember, building a team is your way to reclaim your freedom.
Sure.
We're here to help. Remember, Larry and I are here. We've got a lot of experience. We've got as he said, we've got our VAs in the community you can ask questions of to get an idea. Is this normal? Is this expected? When there's situations that come up, you have some people that can help you, resolve it and say, what's the best approach? So the community is really important. So what I want you to do right now, guys, is take a few seconds and do these three things. 1, subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already done so. Number 2, give us a rating. Okay, hopefully 5 stars, but be honest, of course, because we want to improve and we want to grow. And let us know how we can improve. And then number 3 is go to HireMyVA.com for more info on our course and community. We'll help you thrive with virtual assistants and prepare for them and hire them in the appropriate way. So Larry and I have helped lots of folks. We want to help you too. So just go to HireMyVA.com for more information.
Yep. Dave, it's great seeing you today. Love you, bro. I'm glad that we are doing this together. Hey, folks, do yourself a favor. Do the world a favor. Go do something really significant today. Now, go get them. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.